right quick. Probably be on here, a little bit. This I know it's a surprise because I don't normally get on this lot this early or even on Thursday. Shh. I've got the babies with me. So peace, peace, peace. And I actually want to do a live because I didn't want to do a video of this topic because so people can um, respond to what I'm saying. It's not a already recorded video. So today's supreme mathematics being knowledge, power, or refinement. And usually I do the all being born to or borning equality, right? And so, but today, supreme mathematics is knowledge, power, or refinement. And for those that know what's been going on in my cipher, everything came out to be positive. Um, you know, everything came out to be positive. It was successful, and just uh, in recovery right now. You see, there was a surgery, and that I that's been on the books for some time now, and it happened this previous Monday, and so everything was successful, and they're in recovery right now. So peace to that, peace, peace, peace. And so I'm doing this because I kind of received some not some backlash, but some responses to the last video when peace, peace, peace. Responses to the last live I was on. Don't separate the 5%, and I have no problem with what people say, and so I have no problems with that. It's peace. Um, but I haven't responded because I was doing what I was doing on Monday, and so now I just got free and all that good stuff. So peace, peace, peace. And so hold on, let me close this. I'm gonna sit down. I don't want to keep walking. You're gonna hear the babies in the background because the babies. I have my children. You see what I'm saying? And I'm in their life as you know as a great father should be. And so peace to y'all, everybody that came in. Hold on. I haven't even okay, so all right. Hold on. Let me see. So peace, peace, peace. So there's I've heard of people responses. Not everyone responded directly to the video. And that's peace, I was informed that I should have and peace to True Born Maya Law. Peace, peace. Um that I should have talked to the instead of talking to others, I should have talked directly to the people I was talking about. And I understand that. And I have no problems with what he said. Um the reason I didn't is because as uh as a brother said in a video, that was shared in the 5% Nation page on Instagram, that the 5% don't debate. You see, we don't debate. And the things that was said in the comments of that video, there would have been no, I didn't see there would be any positivity coming out of it if I jumped in there, right? And so all it would be is responses to how brothers felt, you know. Because I'm not changing my power or refinement, and I don't have problems with brothers that just have a power. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say they're not 5%ers because of that. And so if that's where people are operating off of, then we don't have anything to speak about. You see, unless you feel like you have enough force and power to try to make me submit. You see what I'm saying? Um, because I can show and prove how power and refinement is relates, and how you can build it, how I can build on it, and how I can relate the two, right? And so today's mathematics being knowledge, power, refinement, we're dealing with knowledge is to be aware, is to know and to be aware, right? And so to be aware of your power is the ability to produce an effect, right? That is the definition of power. You can look in the Webster, the Oxford, the thesaurus. You can look in the Bernhardt etymology. The furthest we go back to the uses of power is to be able, right? And so now we're speaking in a language that people can understand. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta first speak in a language that people, as in the 85%, that's who we're talking about. And that's who we're here to teach. We're not here to teach the 5%. We're here to teach the 85%. And so we have to be very clear and concise in what we're saying so that it's easy to follow. You dig what I'm saying? And so power is the ability to produce an effect. For example, right? Um, you know, I wouldn't say I'm afraid of dogs, right? I'm cautious of dogs. So if I'm my children are in the background. So if I'm at a park with my children, and I usually go to the park on like Sundays or whatever with the children. And so if I'm in the park walking with my children and there's a dog that's running towards us, right? Just based on my previous experiences with dogs, right? Hold on. You see this right here? I got bit in the face by a dog. So just my experience with dogs, right? I may react a certain way because of that idea in my mind of my previous experience with dogs, right? So uh in some sense, if I was afraid of dogs, that dog would have the power over me, right? It would have the power over me because I'm afraid of the dog. And if it's extreme to the point of, I may just been like, forget those kids and run, right? That dog had the ability to produce an effect within me, right? And so we're talking about supreme mathematics. So supreme is the highest form, right? And so that's just a basic example of what we're dealing with power, right? And so if things have power over you and you don't have control of yourself with dealing with that thing, I was always told that to leave it alone. To master something, you have to what? Leave it alone. Because that thing has power over you. You see, it has power over you. So that means it may not have the intellectual uh properties to control you, right? So like we could talk about substance abuse, we could talk about drugs. You see, alcohol and drugs doesn't have intellectual power over you, right? But it has power over your what? Body. You see what I'm saying? So that it can affect your mind. You see? So when we're talking about power, we're talking about the ability to produce an effect. You see what I'm saying? So drugs and alcohol has a different kind of power, but it has an effect on you. And so that's why to master that, you have to what? Leave it alone. You got to leave it alone. And so now that we understand that power doesn't just have one manifestation, you see, so I can agree that power is the truth, but I don't think that's the only manifestation of power. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And so we're talking about power, and then so power is the ability to produce an effect. Peace, Shakanula, peace of the God. And we're talking about power is the ability to produce an effect, which you can define it. You can find that definition of power. Yeah, separation. You can find that definition of power. Then, if you go to refinement, refinement is the to draw out impurities, right? Is to focus. So there's different manifestation of refinement. It's not just one. It's different manifestation of refinement. Another example, right, is that the sun has the power to burn things, right? The sun's ray, the warmth that comes from the sun has the power to give life, to give the sun is our main source of energy, right? And so we get energy from the sun. Plants grow by photosynthesis, absorbing the sun's light and creating its own food and stuff like that. And so um, but the sun, the rays aren't focused, meaning that it's going every which direction. You see, it's going 360 degrees in every single direction. You see what I'm saying? So if if there was a focus on the sun and all of the sun's rays was focused to a point, it will destroy. For example, like a laser, right? They say knowledge is power. Nah, knowledge is knowledge. Knowledge isn't power. See, because not every bit of knowledge is powerful. You see, you can know something and not apply it, and then it's not powerful. That's not power. You can know something and not apply it because it's knowledge, wisdom, and then understanding. You see, and to a certain extent, if you can't apply it, do you really know it? Exactly. Sakanulu say, yeah, I don't agree with that either. It's what you do. Yeah, it's with that either. It's what you do with knowledge. Yeah, I don't agree with that either. It's what you, okay, yeah. Oh, hold on. I think I pinned it. Whoops. Pace, true self. Pace, knowledge born's power. Knowledge born's power. Well, if you're talking about the supreme mathematics, borning out knowledge, it borns equality. Because you take knowledge through uh you take the word knowledge and break it down, It breaks down to born equality. And then you break down born equality, knowledge, power, refinement. And then you break that down, it's equality. So the first answer, oh yeah, damn, I messed up. So I don't know if that's what you meant, true self, but that's that's a point that I could just build on that point right there. Is that when it says knowledge, born, equality. So knowledge, you break it down, is 96. Then you break that down, it's 15. And you break that down, it's 6. 6 is the lowest, it's the lowest form. We bringing it back, not the lowest, but we bringing it back to the simplest form. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah. So I don't know. Peace, knowledge, born, power. Yeah, I don't know if that's what you meant, but it was a good segue to that. And so when we dealing with refinement, it we can apply it to focus power. I can focus. Refinement is also it also means to focus, right? So just like the sun's rays going 360 degrees, a laser is focus. Is a focus power. And so lasers can cut through metal, it can cut through diamonds, it can cut through a lot of things. You see what I'm saying? Depending on uh oh, so mathematically knowledge isn't the foundation of power. Yeah. So indeed. So if you're saying, if you're like knowledge is power, yeah, nah, there's some that's a very common saying, and that's a very common saying, not in the 5%, but just in the a larger culture, that knowledge is power. It's not. It's not. Knowledge isn't even wisdom. It's just knowledge. So how you apply it, right? How you apply it is where we get to the wisdom. Is it wise, unwise, or other than wise? You see what I'm saying? And so today's mathematics being knowledge, power, refinement, knowledge being aware, power is ability to produce an effect, refinement is to draw out impurities or to focus. To focus. So being aware of your ability, right? Being aware of your ability to produce an effect. So, with that being said, that video, the live that I recorded, uh, it had a certain effect amongst certain people. Some people may have agreed, some may not. And it's peace, because, I'm not here to disrespect no one. I'm not here to disrespect no one, because knowledge is respect. You see, each one of the supreme mathematics, uh, you can manifest it differently. Watch out. That's my daughter. You can manifest it differently, right? Meaning like knowledge is to look, study, observe, and respect. Uh, you see, knowledge is respect. Knowledge is to know the ledge. Knowledge means to know. Knowledge means to be aware. You see what I'm saying? Wisdom is wise words, ways, and actions. Wisdom is the way. Wisdom is how you speak. Wisdom is applied knowledge. You see, there's different manifestations to uh, each of the supreme mathematics. Not to say that they're completely different, because you can tie them, you can tie each of these manifestations to knowledge. You see what I'm saying? If you do it correctly. And so I don't agree that power is just the truth. I don't agree with that. Because each of the supreme mathematics has multiple manifestations. So now power is the only one that doesn't. I don't agree with that. I don't agree. You see, and like I said, but I'm not here to disrespect no one. I got knowledge of self, so I respect everyone. See, I come in peace, I leave in peace. The middle part is, that's, yeah, knowing when to speak. There isn't power in that, indeed. Refinement is also discipline. True indeed, Shakanulu. Knowing when to speak. Yep, act, and so on. Indeed. Yeah. And one of the first things I've learned in this nation, one of the first laws that I learned in this nation is do the knowledge. Do the knowledge. You know, that's just how I see it as one of the laws in this nation. One of the rules of this nation is do the knowledge. Do the knowledge. And depending on how someone says it, it could just mean, okay, well, just, take a break, listen, and observe. And it can go is, because you could say, do the knowledge, do the knowledge. And, it just depends on how you say it, because it can go as far as, do the knowledge means shut the fuck up and listen. You talking too much and you don't know what you're talking about. But it's the same phrase. Do the knowledge. It could be like, okay, God, here, do the knowledge. Okay, and it can go to a different level just based on the interaction and how someone says it. I never understood the argument over refinement. Shakanul. Yeah, peace. True self. Absolutely. Or absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I just see it as brothers want to make sure that people are right and exact. I have no problem with it. The only problem I have is when you're now saying that if you have refinement, you have freedom, you have certain things, then you're no longer a 5%er. That's the problem I have. You know, um, because uh, there was no initiation that I needed to go through to be a 5%er. I didn't need to get jumped in. You see, I'm on the West Coast, and so I know a little thing about gangs, and so I didn't need to be jumped on. I didn't need to fight three people for 3 minutes and all this stuff. I didn't need to go one on one with the big homie or none of that. I didn't need to get put on to the 5%. See, I agreed with the teachings of Allah. I agreed that the black man, the original man, is God. You see what I'm saying? Black, brown, and yellow. I agreed that the original woman is the earth. The babies are the greatest. See, I agreed with that, right? And so the Son of Man is God. I agree with that. And I agree to uphold the culture of the 5%. You see what I'm saying? Don't deny Allah, whether it is, our founder, our father, right? Or my brothers. Don't disrespect the earth. Don't litter on the earth, meaning literally or figuratively. You see what I'm saying? So, and that may not, everything I just said isn't necessarily like if you do that, then you're not 5%er. But don't deny law. There's never going to be a point where I call Allah, the founder of this nation, Clarence 13X. There's never going to be a point I call him that unless I'm talking about a point where he went by that. You see? So, and I would say Allah, at the time, he was Clarence 13X, when he was in the Nation of Islam, right? But I'm not going to refer to him as Clarence 13X. You see, that's denying Allah. The man that I met that gave me the knowledge, that's Allah. So I never met the founder of this nation. The Allah that I met him in Morocco, Seattle, Washington. That's who I met. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, nah, I don't take offense to brothers, not dealing with refinement. I don't take offense because I've had these discussions and conversations, and so at some point, with some people, because I can't speak on all of them. Some people they just want to make sure you have it right and exact. I have no problem with that. Peace to y'all. Y'all have just power. You want to make sure someone's right and exact. You want to keep it, righteous. You want to make sure I know what I know. That's all peace. And we may not agree. Okay, my mathematics is power refinement. Yours is just power. Look, you know, if you my righteous brother, you can come to my house. You can sit down at my table. You can meet the queen and the children. All that stuff. I can feed you. I can give you, nourishment. You see what I'm saying? I can give you a ride to where you want to go. You come to Morocco. You're a 5%er. You're a righteous brother of mine. I'll meet up with you. It's all peace. I'm not going to ask you, hey, yo, God, you got refinement in your mathematics? If you don't, you can't come in my car. I'm not doing that. I'm not religious. I'm not a part of no gang. You see? Again, I have no problem. If you don't deal with refinement, that's peace, God. Like I said, I know there's some brothers that just want to make sure you right and exact. Make sure, okay, you know, whatever the case may be. All right, this is what the original mathematics are, or however, they put it. That's all peace. Then there's some people that say, yeah, if you got this and you're not a 5%er. Those are the people I got a problem with. And not even the people I got a problem with. You saying that I got a problem with that. That's what I got a problem with. You saying that. So the live don't separate the 5%. I'm talking about the people that are saying you're not a 5%er if you have refinement in your mathematics or you have freedom in your mathematics. You see what I'm saying? Those are the people that's separating the 5%. And if that's you, then it's you. I don't really care what your name is or who you are, how long you had the knowledge. If you're trying to separate us, you're trying to separate us. And that's a Yakub thing. See what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I want to hop on right quick and tell those that's in the know that, everything is peace. Everything came out positive on Monday. And, yep. And, just wanted to get my thoughts on the live. Because depending on how shit went down on Monday, that probably would have been the last live ever. You see, it was that serious. I mean, I would have probably disappeared for a long time. And so yeah, that's what I was dealing with, and nothing specific. Those that know, those that have my math, depending on whether or not I want to tell you, yeah. But yeah, so that's just to clear some things up. I'm not here to disrespect no one. See, because I deal with knowledge. And so, and also, I'm not here to debate no one. We can have a discussion. We can walk the land, whether physically or in the mind mentally. You see, we can have conversations. I'm not opposed to that. And I'm not above correction. I'm not above examination. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but if your stance is that, you do this one thing, right? Like we can agree on 119 things, but we don't agree with that one thing, then we're not brothers. We not family. I'm not a 5%er. Yeah, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. Because I'm not here to try to teach the 5%. That's not my job. That is not my job. I'm not here to teach the 5%. That's not what I agreed on. You see? We can build as 5%ers. I was, you know, I was told that Allah said, if you want to see me come together. So of course I'll come together with my people, whether we from the same tree, a distant tree, a long forgotten tree, like it doesn't matter. You don't gotta agree with me for me to, build with you. I'm not collecting yes men. I'm not collecting followers. Whether you be on the channel, you can hop on the live. I invite everybody on the link, or we can have a phone conversation. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. So we can have a phone conversation. You can hop on a live, say what you want to say, whether you agree, you disagree, all that stuff. But I came on dealing with today's mathematics, and I wanted to say it. I wanted to get on live so that, and I'm repeating this because some people came in and they may not have heard it early on. I wanted to come on live to build what I had to say instead of doing the video to show you that okay, this is live in the rec, and that people can put in the comments what they want, and I can read it in real time, and we can do it like that. I'm not on my laptop, so I can't. I don't know how to invite people. I don't know. Hold on. Shit. I turned on the green screen. You see? Fucking around trying to invite people and turn on the damn green screen. Okay, let me get back to all the comments. Oh shit. Oh. Okay, where'd that shit go? All right, now I just fucked up some shit. I guess. Oh shit! I missed out on a lot of comments. Uh, Knowledge is power. That's why the devil always wants to keep it exclusively for itself. The rich are always looking for knowledge to keep their edge. Evil is the abuse of power. Are you saying knowledge is power? Ah, well, just the devil knowing what he knows isn't powerful. And us not knowing isn't necessarily powerful. It's what is done with the knowledge that he knows and that we don't know. You see, and also the conditions. And so if we talk about okay, we were slaves and all that stuff, yeah, but that's a condition of what we were put under. So it wasn't just knowledge; it was knowledge applied, and knowledge applied, and then to the point where it became a culture. It was a daily total activity, and so there's a pace. Me, my fault. Um, so like I was saying, there was a culture, uh, or I should say, there's a system of the transatlantic slave trade, right? But then the culture of the slavery that happened in America, and so the devil using knowledge to do evil. Yeah, it had to be applied. It wasn't just knowledge. Knowledge is not power. You got to take it further, right? These are steps and stages. So you got to take it further than just knowledge. You got to apply it. Because then how would we know the devil knew to do devilishment, like evil shit, right? And when we talk about the devil and his devilishment, we go to the things that he's done, the atrocities that he's done. We don't go to I don't go to the things that he know, because I don't know what he knows without it being applied, without it being manifested. I don't know what he knows. The devil robs the 85% of their power by keeping them ignorant. Nah, yeah, okay. I agree with that, Mr. G1. Yeah. He robs them, meaning, he applies the knowledge that he knows and use the knowledge that the 85 don't know. You see, but the 85's power is not only or not necessarily what they know, but when remember it says use their labor to make themselves rich. They use their labor. They use their, voting power. They use their ignorance, to steer them in the direction that they want them to go. Yeah, only refinement in my ride. Yeah, that'd be crazy. What kind of brother would I be if I'm talking about, oh, only guys that got refinement in their mathematics can, you know, get a ride? Like, what? How is that civilized? How is that having knowledge of self? How is that brotherhood and sisterhood? How is that being a family? We don't all families don't get along, right? But I'm a civilized man. I'm a civilized man. What sense does that make to say, yo, G, you don't got refinement, you ain't got freedom in your mathematics, you can't be around my family. You see, like, now your ways gotta be refined. Don't just come around my kids just cussing and stuff. Don't smoke and shit around my children. Cause I don't do that. And I don't allow that to happen in my house. You want to do that? Go outside. You see what I'm saying? Like, common courtesy, respect. You see what I'm saying? Respect. And so yeah, like, but if you just got culture, you just got power in your mathematics. Look, God, I'll give you a ride. you know, you come out here, you reach out to me. I know you're here. Look, I'll meet up with you. I'll take you to a place to eat. You see? Yeah, man. And not one time I will be like, hey, yo, God, you got refinement in your mathematics? Because if you don't, I'm gonna take you to the barbecue place where they only serve pork chops and shit. pork ribs and stuff. But my brothers that have refinement, I'm gonna take you to a vegan, vegetarian restaurant or somewhere that got righteous food, no pork on their menu. I'm gonna take you there. But those brothers with only power, yeah, I'm only taking you to Dave's barbecue, where even the cornbread got pork in it. Uh, some people don't know how. Fuck. Hold on, I gotta call the queen. Shit, my other phone isn't. All right, I'm gonna have to. Still has to be activated. You going in and out. Yeah, yeah. People are calling me and shit. People are calling me. I hear you. You can't activate what you don't know, though, Lord. Nah, yeah, that's yeah, yeah. I agree, Mister G1. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just saying that knowledge is the foundation. You have to apply the knowledge, though. Knowledge can't be power because then you skip wisdom, understanding, culture and freedom. You see, you skipped a whole bunch of things. These are steps and phases. And so, yeah. So knowing is half the battle. You see, I don't want to say absolutes like that. I got to do more living, more experimenting before I could say certain things like that. Yeah, you can't piece. Yeah, because you can know something and never do anything with that knowledge. Yeah, like I'm a curious person. I'm a very curious person, and so uh, it may sound weird, but I asked the queen, does she like being a woman? You know, I asked questions like that, like what's some of the things that you like about being a woman, and because I'm also an author, so I write. So I ask certain questions. Like when I was at the hospital, I was asking the nurses, the doctors, nurse practitioner, everybody, anesthesiologists. I was asking them a whole bunch of questions. How long they went to school, what got them there, different things like that. What inspired them, um, what school, is there a lot of burnout? And look, maybe I could apply it by going into the medical field, right? I could do that. However, I'm not going to go to each one of them, and maybe I'll apply it by writing a book about the medical. But I'm not. Yeah, wouldn't that be choosing to activate or not? Isn't that a form of power to turn on and off? I'll take the lion's mane and give you pork chops. Yeah, look, and hey, I've been trying to find lion's mane, because I don't like mushrooms. And it's me being vegan. It's crazy because if I ate mushrooms, it would make what I eat my diet a lot easier. It will make it a lot easier. It will make it a lot easier. But you know, I don't mess with portobellos and all that. I'm gonna try lion's mane. I'm gonna try lion's mane. But a lot of that stuff, wisdom, one is all is one. Allah is all powerful. True indeed. True indeed. So I'm gonna hop off. The queen is calling me, so and she's I just need to get updates and stuff of what's going on. And so, because I'm at home with the children, she's back where I was at. And so, yeah. Uh, I'll see y'all tomorrow because we doing a live tomorrow. This is supposed to be a short one. You see, you see, y'all not slick. Y'all want this to be a long one. Y'all not slick. Nah. So I'm gonna say peace of the gods, peace of the earth, peace of the babies, man, peace of the babies, peace of the civilized, and peace of the uncivilized, because the uncivilized need it more. Peace.